Do you notice anything different? I'm gonna give you a hint. Hi friends and welcome back to my channel. As you might see, my friends got me a sunset lamp for my birthday. It has all of these different color settings and it can fade and stuff. So this is super cool. This is definitely something I'm gonna try and utilize in my videos. I'm still figuring it out how to incorporate this. I'll probably just play around with it during this video as well. So if you see my background switching colors, you know why. But that's not the only thing that's going on, because right in front of me, I have a freaking ring light. I have a sunset lamp, I have a ring light. I'm super excited about this. Please let me know what you think of this setup. And also, like, do you have any ideas or suggestions for how to utilize these things now? Like, what should I do? What should I film with my freaking ring light and my freaking sunset lamp? I don't know what light I should leave it on. I'ma just switch it around. Welcome to my October TBR. It probably has not escaped you that I have been slumping with my reading lately. There's been a lot of things going on in my life. Good things, but just like major things. Reading hasn't really been my biggest focus, which is in some ways unfortunate, because I've really been wanting to read. I just haven't. I haven't really had the time. My focus has been elsewhere, basically. I am partly worried that that is going to continue in October as well, because October is the month where I actually move. So that will be insane. I will move and I will have to like paint and fix my new apartment and buy things and get adjusted to the entire thing. With that said, I don't think I will be able to stick to a long, thick, difficult and specific TBR. In the same spirit as last year, I have decided that in October I'm going to read whatever the heck I want. And I'm once again so excited about it. I did this sort of like detox in October last year when I felt like I had participated in too many readathons and was a bit overwhelmed by that. So I did this TBR detox in October where I read whatever I wanted, and it ended up being such an amazing reading month. I read Addie LaRue, I read A Poppy War, I read Ready Player One, I read Crooked Kingdom, like so many 4 and 5 star reads. And I feel like that's definitely what I need at the moment, because I have been slumping and I have been reading quite a lot of 2 and 3 star books. It's been months since my latest 5 star and I need to change that. Even though there are so many exciting readathons going on in October, so many like horror themed and spooky themed ones, I feel like I need to focus on me and I just need to have the freedom to read whatever I want. I might still low-key try and participate in some readathons, or basically try to make the book I'm currently reading work for a prompt for a readathon or something. I'm not gonna make a dedicated TBR. I plan on being back with the readathons in November, but until then, I'm just gonna read whatever I want. So today I'll just go through some of the books I hope to read and or need to read, just like share my speculative TBR, I guess. The book I must read in October is The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin, and that's because I'm, together with Jane, Femke and Esme, am hosting a read-along for the Broken Earth trilogy. This is the first book in the series and we start in October, so we'll be reading the first book in October, second book in November and third book in December. Basically this is some sort of fantasy, dystopia, sci-fi-ish thing where there are constant apocalypses going on. It's supposedly a really interesting book. We're also following a mother who is looking for her daughter, I believe. Yeah, I've heard so much praise for this book and I'm so excited to read it together with my friends, and I welcome you to join us in this read along as well. I will link the Twitter and everyone else's YouTube channels in the description box, so please check all of that out. What are some more books I hope to read in October? Well, one book I really hope I'll read in October is Us Against You by Fredrik Backman. This is the second book in the Bear Town series, and this is, as you might be able to see, the Swedish edition of the book. This book takes place, I think, half a year later after the events of Bear Town, and the reason why I really want to read this one in October is because in October the third book in this series is being released. Yes, Bear Town is becoming a trilogy, and I have actually pre-ordered the third book, and I pre-ordered it as a signed copy. My first ever signed copy. I don't have any books that have been signed. To actually have purchased a book with a signature from my now favorite author, I think is quite cool. That book will be in hardback format. My other books in this series are in this mass market paperback sort of format. It won't fit in with the rest, but it's signed and I have pre-ordered it and it feels special, so I'm super excited about that one, and I do want to read it as soon as I can. But in order to read it and to be able to understand it, I of course need to read the second book first. I'm not quite sure what to tell you about this one in particular because I have not read it, and it's also a continuation of another book. But Beer Town, the first book in the series, is about a small town in Sweden up north, and this town is obsessed with hockey. Like, the entire town, they eat, breathe, sleep hockey. And they put a lot of pressure on their younger hockey teams. The star of the hockey team ends up sexually assaulting a girl, and it causes so much conflict and so many discussions within the town, within the clubs, the teams. I love that book so much. It might be my favorite book of the year so far. It hits so hard, but it hits beautifully. Fredrik Backman has a way with words. He just writes so many emotions in a very, I would say, effective way. Like, he does not need many words or sentences to. Also, he is great with big ensembles, so he can have these huge casts in his books and you still care about every single one of the characters, and I feel like that's pretty incredible and unique. If you have not read anything by Fredrik Backman, I highly recommend him. I can't wait to get to this one, and then hopefully the third book as well, if I manage to get to it in October. I also want to make sure that I read some of my anticipated 2021 releases in October, or as soon as I can. So there are 2 books specifically that were released in 2021 that I really want to read. The first one is 6 Crimson Cranes by Elizabeth Lim. I got this as a birthday gift from Jane, so thank you so much, Jane. This is a YA fantasy, and I'm not sure what it's about, to be honest. I'm quite certain that it's inspired by Chinese or Asian mythology. Let me read the backside. A princess in exile, a shape-shifting dragon, 6 enchanted cranes, and an unspeakable curse. It will take more than magic to find her way home. It's about a princess with magic in her veins, and her brothers turns into cranes, and she needs to help them, I guess. I have anticipated this a lot. I have not heard that many reviews on it yet, but those I've heard seem to really enjoy it. The next 2021 release I really want to get to as soon as I can is Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. It's the same author as the one who wrote Daisy Jones and the Six, and also The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Since it's still September when I'm filming this, I actually think I'm gonna start reading it now. So it might not even be read in October, depending on whether I manage to finish it in September or not. This is another sort of historical fiction. It takes place during the 80s. It's one of those stories that takes place within 24 hours, basically. I think it's about a house party amongst the glam and the beautiful and the famous that goes wrong. By midnight, the party will be completely out of control. By morning, the Riva mansion will have gone up in flames. I have anticipated this one so much. I loved Daisy Jones and the Six, and I also thought that The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo was so great. And apparently there's a lot of cameos from the Evelyn Hugo book as well in this one, so that's super exciting. I've heard mixed reviews about this one. Some seem to love it a lot, and some seem to think that it's just okay and that it didn't live up to their expectations. I do think that this might be right up my alley. I love Taylor Jenkins Reid's books because of the entertainment. I find them so entertaining and just fun and exciting. Like, they make me happy, they make me smile. I'm hoping that this one might be able to provoke similar feelings in me, and hopefully it can help me out of my slump as well. I'll probably actually start this one tonight already. Then I do want to have a horror option because it is October, it's getting closer to Halloween, so of course I feel like I need to read some horror, or at least plan and try to read some horror. Basically, the only horror book I have is Misery by Stephen King. I have not read anything by Stephen King, so that's another reason I so badly want to read something by Stephen King, and I feel like reading Stephen King in October is the perfect timing, right? This book is about an author who gets kidnapped, I think, by his greatest fan, who forces him to write the story that she wants. I'm so excited to see what I think of this writing, what I think of this story, and also if I want to read more Stephen King in the future. And then we just have a couple of books that I have been meaning to get to for the longest time. If I'm gonna read whatever I want in October, I might as well include these ones and hopefully give them a go too. The first book I'm talking about is The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. This one won the Goodreads Choice Awards for 2020 in the fiction category. I have borrowed it from my friend. I want to see what the hype is about. I have not read anything by Matt Haig before. I also have my own personal challenge of reading the winners of the 2020 Goodreads Choice Awards. From what I gather, this is about a woman who is not that excited about life anymore. She goes to a library where she is given a chance to undo her regrets and try out each of the other lives she might have lived. I think there's also a bunch of trigger warnings related to this one, mainly regarding depression, so I just want to mention it. Look it up if you feel the need to. I want to see what the hype is. I want to see why it won, and hopefully I will enjoy it. And then the final book I should give a go in October is Gemina by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I think this is like the 5th time it's in one of my TBRs or something. I just never seem to get to this one. I don't know why. I don't know if it scares me because it's chunky, or if it's just the timing, or if I'm not as interested as I think I am. I really want to read this one. It's been over a year since I read Illuminate, and I really enjoyed Illuminate, and I bought this one right after I finished Illuminate, so I should get to it and read it. I just haven't. I'm putting it on my TBR again in the hopes that I will actually read it in October. This is a YA science fiction, and it's written in this mixed media format, so the story is told through documents, letters, chat logs, reports, surveillance footage, stuff like that. And the fact that it's written in this mixed media format, it actually reads quite quick. Like, some pages are more like photos and images, or like the chat logs are quite short and easy to read. It's not the size that intimidates me. I think it's just my expectations now, actually, that have made it so I have not read it yet. Because even though it is over 600 pages, I think, because the writing is the way it is, I don't think it will take me too long to actually read it. I just need to get to it. This is the second book in the Illuminate Files series, but we're following other characters than the ones that were in Illuminate. I'm not quite sure what to expect, to be honest. I loved the characters in Illuminate, but so many seem to prefer this book. So I'm really hoping I will too. This one is about Hannah and Nick, who are struggling to survive alien predators and a slightly dangerous wormhole malfunction. I think they're on a ship, there's AI, there's cool characters. Do I need anything else? I think not. And there we have it, my very speculative TBR for October. So in this TBR I mentioned 7 books. I have a hard time believing that I will actually read 7 books in October. Because I'm moving, because I'm slumping, I don't expect that I will read every single one of these books. We'll see if it stays like that or if I'll end up reading something completely different. I have no freaking clue, and I'm gonna allow myself to read whatever I want, whenever I want. No pressure at all. I'm so excited about all of these books, and some of them I have been meaning to get to for a while, so I really hope that I will. And I think that's actually all I have planned for this video. Check out the read along. I will link the announcement for that one down below as well. It would be so great if you could join us. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed. Please take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!
You gotta just go for it. Don't think about what comes after or what came before.
All my favorite songs are slow and sad. All my favorite people make me mad. Everything I feel so good is fake.